like this number. Don't you know he's listening? The 13. He's here.
You have entered the 13, a place where real stories about music, touring, and the beyond are told. Music does something to us. We all experience it in our own way. It can affect our senses, transport us through time, and release emotions. On this podcast, we will talk with people about the power of music and the beyond. What does the beyond mean? Let's find out together. Turn on your metronomes because this time is about to be tracked. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the 13. I'm your host, Ryan 13, and today, returning to the show for the second time, we have Al Shire. Al, welcome to the show. What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming on, man.
My man, it is a hot Saturday night in Austin.
Oh, dude,
Texas.
I'm burning up. You can see my fan's not on for audio purposes, and my pits are sweating. The pits are sweating.
How hot is the wood right now?
How hot is the wood? Oh, the king wood. It's pretty hot, man. It was 103 earlier, or at least that's what the truck said. The truck said 108 at first. How hot is it there? Probably 104.
It hit 104. It's going to hit 105 tomorrow.
Golly, dude. Oh man. So
we got two months. We have 2 and 2 until August. I don't even want to think about how hot it's going to be then.
And here in Texas, it stays hot until the end of October. You know what I mean? It's just, and then even then in November, it's like, yeah, it's still kind of hot. Maybe a cold front comes through for a day or two, and then it goes away, and it's hot again.
That's why people are always sweaty doing Sober November. They're like, it's still hot here, and they're sweating out all that booze.
Yep. Well, they do Sober October, and then like no drink November, and
that's right.
Every month could be a different. That's a good reason. Every month is a good reason to chill, calm yourself down, recenter yourself. I wanted Shire. Actually, Shire brought this up to me, and it's a really cool thing that you got going on. You've got the Terlingua Musicians Guild that you've started, and you've been working on that for like 6 months or so, but you just started implementing, like really like getting the instruments into people's hands, or on the porch, I should say. And you posted some stuff about it, and it got picked up by the Big Bend Times, I believe, and they wrote a really beautiful article.
Mr. David Flash wrote that, and he is an amazing writer that lives in Fort Davis, and he covers pretty much the whole Big Bend area, and he's spreading the good word to the people in Texas and beyond about what is going on down there in that little magical gem that is Brewster County.
So tell us a little, and that's awesome because that dude wrote a really good article. It was really well written, so shout out to him. But so tell us a little bit. It was a nice thing
to wake up to.
Yeah, dude, I bet, man. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a great article. So tell us a little bit about the Terlingua Musicians Guild.
Man, it's just this little thing I started that it's just to combine more tourists with the locals.
Yeah.
Usually on Sundays and Wednesdays at the porch, which is right next to the Starlight Theater, in the ghost town, people will congregate there and they'll jam. And, a lot of these locals have their own guitars, I get it. I wouldn't just give my guitar up to a stranger.
Sure.
And I thought, man, I want to kind of get something going to where like there's like community instruments to where someone doesn't have to say, hey, can I grab that? And I've seen some tourists show up and man, rip it up. Like really, really good. They'll surprise you because you got people from all over, the United States going to Terlingua and the Big Bend area, go to the national park and go hiking and go exploring and looking for arrowheads and stuff like that. And so I thought, it's kind of cut out the awkwardness of being, possibly turned down to use an instrument. And hey, here's all these community guitars. I've taken 3 down already. I took a 12-string Yamaha that came with my house when I bought it in 2007, and then my buddy Todd Andrews has a company called Gavler Guitars, and he's down in Menchaca, and he refurbishes all these older guitars. I went and grabbed 2 of those off him, about 3 months ago and put those down. I played a show a couple of weeks ago at the Starlight and also at DB's Rustic Iron Barbecue. And then on that trip, I left 2 more guitars there. So far, I've left 3. I went and grabbed 2 more almost a week ago from my
Wow.
buddy Todd. And
You're gonna
yeah,
have to
man, he
start
gets
bringing like stands and stuff and hanging them up on the wall or something.
so. What's awesome is I've got a good friend there named Josh Keenan. He's the local plumber, and he's an amazing craftsman. And he put the bug in my ear to talk to this other amazing craftsman that we know in Terlingua named Ed Hegarty. And
Okay.
Ed's drawing up plans right now. Josh got the permission from Bill Ivy's niece and nephew to build a big guitar rack. It would
Oh, cool.
like imagine like a big guitar boat that they can close at night,
That's oh yeah, that'd be great.
and so they can shut it if they want to lock it. Great. I mean, someone would have to be responsible. Luckily, I've got 2 really good buddies, man. My friend Moses Martinez, who's an amazing singer songwriter, harmonica player out there. He goes to the porch almost daily. My buddy Adam Heath does the same thing. He's an amazing mandolin player that plays with me when I go down there.
Yeah, right on.
And both those guys have had, Moses had a cajon stolen, I guess about 6 months ago, and Adam had a mandolin stolen. So it's like kind of passionate to them that
Yeah,
they're keeping an eye out.
sure.
They're
What
also
do you
keeping an eye out for the gear that got stolen. You don't want to get caught doing that down there. That's
one of
a
the
that's
one of
a
the things you guys are doing to
a no no.
to stop that is like you're writing, leave me on the porch, and then whoever donated it, right? Like on the
Leave
guitar.
leave me on the porch, please. I try to be as polite and grammar
Sure.
political as I can. Um,
Yeah, we could.
but yeah, my buddy Pablo Larios donated a really nice Fender. And that was one of the guitars I took down there. I wrote his name on it, donated by Pablo Larios and Al Shire. I only put, my name on it because I'm the hauler. I just
Sure.
haul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, my buddy Don that owns DB's Rustic Iron Barbecue, he donated a snare and a stand, a couple of pairs of sticks, and Nate's roommate Manny Melgar donated a pair of brushes. So
Nice.
those are all up there, just waiting for people to use them. So they've been getting used. I get messages from my friends that go up there and check on the gear, and the gear's getting used. I have a few photos of people playing. It's got my little signature on there.
Yeah.
So
Right on, man.
it's
What do
cool.
people have to do to one like contribute, and two, like what if they want to be like a member of the guild? Is there a
Well,
way to do that, or
that's one of the to me one of the most beautiful things about this is it's not official. I mean,
okay?
it's me and a bunch of my friends that just want to bring more music, you know, camaraderie to that area. There's
Sure.
no Facebook page. I've had people ask me if I'm going to get a logo and T-shirts, and that's I don't know. At that point, it just becomes a little bit too business like. If people, I've had a couple of people, offer to toss me $200 to buy a guitar from my buddy Todd, and put their name on it that they donated it, and no one's come through yet.
Yeah.
They can track me down on Facebook or Instagram and shoot me a message. I'm really bad about checking the messages on Instagram. Facebook is best, but it's these guitars. My buddy sells them to me for 180, $200,
Nice.
and the more that I can get down there, the merrier. Watch. There's going to be like how the Guinness Book of World Records does X amount of guitar players playing a
Oh yeah.
song
Yeah,
together.
they did Enter
I'm
Sandman, where like there was like 200
yeah,
fuckers out there doing it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get 100 people with guitars to sit on the porch all in like rows and play nothing but Love in Brewster County.
Oh, that would be
And
great.
there I will be. I'll just be in the parking lot conducting da 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 da. That'd be funny.
That'll be great. And everybody who hasn't heard that song yet, there will be a link in the description to go check that out. And I'll probably also put some here.
Tearing ass southbound 118. Hit the little borough if you know what I mean. 75 with the wind in my hair. I got nowhere to be. Yeah, I don't have a care. No cottonwood, maybe a stop on the way. Chili pepper lunch at the little cafe. DB smoking till the cows come home. I'm in my happy place, even if I'm alone. Yeah, nothing but love in Brewster County. Don't you double cross Herman, you'll become the bounty, my friend. This could be your end.
Cool. But yeah, dude, I'm super sick. I got other questions about this. So so basically what you're telling me is there's no card carrying membership. You're not going to be able to have a card and say, I'm a part of this. You just got to be a part of it.
You're good. If anybody wants to be a part of it, we'll work out the details. They'll get their name written on a guitar. It's funny. I've had a few friends offer, well, they've given me the advice to put those air trackers inside them.
Yeah. Then
but
you can find out where they go.
Yeah, but out there, it's like unless you have like literally satellite, like unless you've got like Starlink on those things.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're going to disappear.
They'll just vanish.
It's a good idea though. So I'm really just hoping in good faith. Remember that? Don't forget to pray for me.
Yep. Don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now.
Hear me now.
Hear me now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just doing this in good faith that no one will take them. It's
sure.
There is thievery out there, so nothing surprises me.
It's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Yeah, all these guitars I don't have any emotional attachment to, so it's just I am though. Can I throw in that? Day before yesterday, I drove a guitar down to my buddy Zach Wallace in Cyprus, and Ryan Roth just passed away a few weeks ago, and so Zach is going to do a portrait of Ryan on this guitar that I took to him, and we're going to kind of present it at his memorial on July 15th in Beaumont, and then from there I'll take it with me and come back to Austin and then take it out to Terlingua. Ryan always wanted to go out there with me. He always was like, when am I going to get to Terlingua? Our big joke was like, you're either going to knock somebody out or you're going to knock somebody up, or both. Because he was fun, Yeah. So, he never got out to West Texas with me. So this is like me taking him out there with me and leaving him on the porch. Oh, he would have loved it. He would have, his little rude boy self,
what's interesting is that our a mutual acquaintance, Stefan knows Ryan, or knew Ryan.
That's so funny.
But it makes total sense. You from punk rock scene, Stefan's from the punk rock scene. Kind of makes sense that they ran into each other. Stefan was like really tore up. If you go to his Facebook page, he's really tore up about it.
So, Ryan squatted for a while. He dealt with like a little, brief bout of homelessness. So like the more that I thought about him and Stefan knowing each other, it didn't surprise me, that like
Stefan's the dumpster diver of all my friends. Like he's the one who taught me how
Ryan
to get
was too.
cheap books. Let's go to Half Price Books. I'm like, why? He's like, they throw all the ones with the torn covers in the dumpster. And there you go. Who cares about the cover? It's the book that matters. And we'd go out there and find badass books, missing covers, or something was ripped. I found all my couches when I was growing up because of dumpster diving.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all now that, like the more I've thought about Ryan's lifestyle, that, it just kind of makes sense. His parents have asked me to do an acoustic version of Roots Radicals and at his memorial, along with Amazing Grace. So I'm not nervous. I'm just like, oh.
Have you ever done Amazing Grace? Are you going to play it and sing it?
I have to.
Wow.
I haven't played that song, and that was my dad's favorite song. I haven't played that song in 20 years.
Oh well, at least you played it before. I've never played it before. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Right. And I'm more than honored that they asked me to do that. It's really, really nice. And plus, I loved him like like a brother, you know. And
Yeah.
so, but yeah, yeah.
Um. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Ryan.
Rest
Um.
in power.
Rest in power. Okay, so what's up? What plans you got for the guild next? You got anything bigger, or we're just trying to get musical instruments out there right now?
I'm just trying to get my hands on his. I'm taking two more guitars out there. One's Ryan's guitar, one's another one. Uh, I might have Zach do. Jimmy Lee Dean was an awesome uh, singer songwriter from Houston that passed away a few years ago, and I'm
Yeah.
more than likely going to have Zach do that portrait on the other guitar. So
Okay.
the next two guitars I take out there are going to have my friends on them.
Fuck yeah. Let me
That's it.
don't.
Just
Let me donate one. I got one in the closet. I'll bring out here in a minute. I'd like to give one to you. It ain't anything fancy, but it's something that'll be cool to sit on a porch.
it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Beaters are best. Well, that would be a really good T-shirt.
Beaters are best.
Beaters are best because these are all like beater guitars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then of course people make the joke like,
Right. Of course. Yeah. I used
but
to have that hat that said Master Baiter and had a fish on it, and he was chasing a hook.
so one of my favorite things, and I still haven't stopped there, and I'm gonna do it next time. We just came back from Surfside, and right before you cross that bridge near Pier 30 on the other side of the highway, there's a bait shop called Hookers.
Nice.
And I swear, Ryan 13, the next time I go to Surfside, I'm getting one of those shirts. If they have them, I'm getting me a Hookers shirt
Dude,
because that's too good.
They have them. There's there, and then I will send you money to
If
get me one too. That's great.
if they don't, I'm gonna tell them they need to get a new PR person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you own a bait shop, which could be spelled BATE,
Right. Go away,
Mikey
baiting.
was go away baiting.
Oh yeah, give me some. Cut me a piece. Oh, that's go away, baiting.
Mikey's gonna love that. That's that's our big joke. What up to Mikey? Battle Mountain, Nevada,
Yeah.
and yeah. I'm just more gear, more guitars. Having my buddies get this guitar rack done.
Okay.
You know,
Dude, that's gonna be sick when that's done. Make sure. Well, I know you will. Make sure you get some pictures out so we can share them. That's gonna be so cool.
now that I think about it, I'm gonna talk to Ed Haggerty to see if we need to put like some kind of like humidor in there. Dude, someone
Yeah.
posted that it was pushing 130 out there yesterday.
Yeah. Well, your big deal is I don't know what the humidity is. It's West Texas, but you're in a very particular spot of West Texas. So West
It's a
Texas
dry
is,
heat.
yeah, West Texas is known for not having any humidity. If you've got anything
Right.
under 50% relative humidity, you probably don't have anything to worry about. But it's like here, I'm in Houston. If I leave my guitar
Right.
outside overnight, tomorrow it's going to be like twisted and warped.
Well, like the one thing that like Moses was worried about, the reason he wanted something to close or at least a cover was, he was telling me that when the sun rises in the morning, it just blasts the porch. I mean, it's
Okay.
like, you know, crazy hot. And just the way it's like, there's nothing out there to block it.
Yeah,
Once it
right.
comes over the mountains, it's just like bang. And
Yeah.
it just cooks everything. Everything right now is behind like a pretty decent like size covered. It looks like a table,
Okay.
like an end table, but it's really big and it kind of you can't really see the gear. You have to kind of know it's there to
Yeah.
know
Okay.
it's there. So
Well, I mean, that's cool too. Dude, this is
it's a work in progress, like life, like everything else. It's just a work in progress. And if I can just get more gear out there, just to unify more people, and that's my little footprint out
I
there.
love it. I think it's
Yeah.
super fantastic. I like when you were first starting to go out to Terlingua and make that place your home, like or your second home, I guess. Like you started telling me about this porch. You started telling me about all the musicians that are out there. The fact that there's music and great musicians out in the desert. I mean, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
You know, like they're out there just ready to play. And your idea of having tourists, because a lot of tourists come through, playing with the locals and not being afraid to like having an abundance of instruments to be like, oh, dude, I'll let me take one of these. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll sit down and jam with you instead of standing around and feeling all awkward about it. That's great.
One of the greatest things, like when I did this last run out there a couple of weeks ago with my friend Wendy Jones, we played. She played on Wednesday night at Lajitas,
Okay.
which is a golf resort that's like, closer to Mexico than Terlingua is.
Okay.
And I got up there with Chris Seaton and gave her a break and did 3 songs. And, it's just a bunch of, older, drunk, rich golfer people that take their shoes off and have bare feet. I'm going to send you that photo for you to add that. We'll cut out the guy's face, but dude, it's like feet. It's like, what's up, feet? You're spending $400 a night there. I can smell you from here. I was taking photos and or video, and I got this guy on the Wendy's camera. But then Wendy and I played the next night at DB's Rustic Iron Barbecue, and then the Moonshiners were playing up the street at the Boathouse, and so we got done and went up there. And Moonshiners played last night at Riley's Tavern in New Braunfels, and they played today between 2 and 5 out at the Devil's Backbone Tavern, near Fisher. And this band is so good. It's Butch Hancock that used to be in the Flatlanders with Jimmy Dale Gilmore, and he keeps a very low profile now. And his son Rory is the lead guitar player, and Roger Moon is I can't say lead singer, but he's plays acoustic guitar and sings. Mark Utter plays bass, and they got this guy Jaffa playing drums. And man, talk about the best new little outfit out of Terlingua. They are good. I mean,
Nice.
Everybody needs to check out the Moonshiners. They really are something else.
They have a website or Facebook page we can follow?
They have a Facebook page. It's very limited. They're running a real low profile, which is pretty cool because of Butch's musical history. And so it's cool that they're just doing these like little small town honky tonks. They're not going for it. I love it. I love that band. They are friggin' amazing. But yeah, if people want to donate, they can just track me down. They can find me, Al Shire, Google. God, it's a really scary thing when you just say, hey, just Google my name. I'm really trackable.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to totally Google. Well, you and me talked about that on the phone the other day. And I every time I've Googled myself, some NFL football player comes up, and they're retired.
6 months ago, I was a musical artist, and my wife thought that was so cool. Now it has me listed as a singer, and it kind of like demoted me by about 15 punk points.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now you're just a singer. You don't play guitar. Just musical.
I'm not
artist.
A songwriter. I'm just,
No.
I was a musical artist. That made me sound more broad.
So Google, who makes these decisions? Like who's up there at Google? Google, I already got problems with you, but that's a different story. But like, who's making these decisions? Why is he now just a singer when he clearly is a musician or a musical artist?
I would be great with songwriter, musician. It sounds better than singer. Singer just, it's like I'm not,
Singer's okay. It's cool, but it's limited.
No
and it
offense.
doesn't describe you. Yeah.
I'm no Diana Ross. Now she's a singer.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, she was a singer. You know what I mean? Like I am not a singer. I'm just
Doug Pennick.
I'm
singer.
Now he's a musical artist too,
Yeah, but he plays.
But he's also a singer.
He's also a pretty good singer. Yeah. That's
He's pretty good. Got some good things going on.
So
How old is he going to be in September?
73.
Oh my God.
He was born in 1950. September 3rd, 1950. My mother was also born in that same year. So
and he's in better shape than you and me combined.
Fuck yeah, he is. That fucking bastard. But like he got into a routine early on and stuck with it.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
like one of the best stories about that. It's like they were getting signed to some, I don't know, Megaforce or whatever record. Like they've been on a few, whatever record label it is, and it's the late '80s, and they're at a barbecue, and everyone's having a great time and partying and stuff, and then Doug pulls out this bag of pills. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy? Jesus Christ, look at all those pills. And he just starts popping them. And everyone, it's the 80s, so everyone thinks like, Jesus, what the fuck is this guy on? Because rock stars are all fucked up. And it's his multivitamins. You know, like he's just been like, oh no, you got to take vitamin D, you got to take. He's just always been, yeah, he smokes a lot of weed. Yeah, he enjoys the drink or two, but he's pretty health conscious. And he has that same routine. He wakes up, he does push-ups, he does pull-ups, he does his whole thing. He goes on walks. It's a form of meditation for him. And
trust me, I was impressed because, you know, when we did that, when I was on tour with, you know, King's X and y'all, you know, back in 2010 when they did the Accept tour.
Yeah.
You know, he was up every morning before any of us.
Farting.
And I wasn't drinking then, so I got up pretty early myself, and I would be one of the first out in the front. Well, I wouldn't be the first one because he'd be out there doing the push-ups, and he'd have the protein shake made, and
coffee
he's the
brewing
one that
in
got
the background too. Yeah.
He's the one that got me to stop drinking that coffee made.
Yeah, because they were like,
he
it's
told me,
fucking toxic. It catches on fire.
Well, he told me it was going to cause me to have anal leakage. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his exact words. He goes, that shit's going to make your butthole leak weird stuff. And he like showed me the ingredient.
Yeah. You can catch it on fire.
It's the same thing that's in that. You know what Olean is?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
It's in certain kinds of chips. And on those bags, it says this product may cause anal leakage.
Jesus.
And yeah, no, it was that tour that I quit drinking that. It was coffee mate. It was hazelnut. I remember it.
Oh, you had the liquid one, huh?
Yeah.
So the coffee mate one, that's the powder one, you can you can catch it on fire and it burns for a long time. Like just start pouring it out, put a little sorry, I had to run away from it. Here, put a little like lighter like this on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Just fucking catches fire. And like everybody go YouTube this right now. It's fucking legit. It is flammable. I mean, there's a lot of things that we consume that are flammable. Alcohol. You know, but I mean, when you're thinking about coffee and using stuff in your coffee, you don't really think about, I'm going to put fucking poison in my coffee, which is what feels. And I think Doug's the reason why I quit using that stuff too, because I actually drink all my coffee black unless I'm going to Starbucks and I can get myself a caramel macchiato black.
I do like a couple of shots of their simple syrup in my iced coffee with almond milk. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do lately. You know,
almond milk's pretty good. It's too bad I'm allergic to almonds. You know what's weird?
Are you really?
Yeah, it's the only nut I'm allergic to. And how in the world am I not allergic to anything else, but I'm allergic to almonds? That doesn't make it.
How did you find out that?
I got really, really fat and sick once.
How old were you?
Man, it's been since the 90s. So I might not be allergic. I have not tried. It was so bad. I haven't retested for it or anything. No.
You should. You know, Nate the Nate used to be deathly allergic to shellfish.
And he's not anymore?
And no.
Well, he works at a sushi place, so I wouldn't think he would.
Right. But, you know, he, worked there when he would still fall victim to the hives and his throat closing, you know? Yeah. And now he's over it. So, you know, I mean, almond milk is good for you. I haven't drank milk since, oh God, I had my colonoscopy going on a year ago. And yeah, so it's been about a year since I've drank like real milk. I still eat cheese, but you know, I'm a booger making machine. I'm pretty gross, but I have noticed that in the year that I've quit drinking milk proper, that my boogers are about at 50% less.
Sure, absolutely,
which is interesting.
That stuff,
You know,
dairy makes it way worse. And I've been, as a kid who was allergic to everything, a kid who went to get allergy tested in 1993, and my whole back the nurse was like,
did they do the scratch test on your arm?
They did it all. They did 20 of them on my arm and 60 of them on my back. And when they came back in, like they normally, it's just little pricks, right? Like,
right. I had that done on my arm.
And I'm laying there. My mom's like trying to hold me down. She's like, it's going to be okay. It's like, I'm like, Mom, it itches so bad. It's so bad. I'm like being tortured. Yeah. And I was like, I got to itch it. I got to roll over. And she's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And she runs out in the hall and calls the nurse. She's like, hey, he's like, this isn't working. And the nurse comes in. They're waiting, they're waiting this 10-minute period or however long it is. And they come in and the nurse goes, oh my God. Like, they had never seen someone light up like I did. I was allergic to fucking everything.
I used to be allergic to soy, which in the 80s was in everything, like hamburgers, like at McDonald's and Burger King.
It's still.
And then I was also allergic to chocolate, which was interesting because that's initially why I was like a really hyperactive kid in first and second grade. And I would always get sent home and, with like a note, and then of course, Dad being old school, being born in 1923, guess who got the belt? This guy, and so, yeah. And then, after, me pretty much telling my mom, like, I don't know what I'm eating, but I can't control like not being hyperactive was how it, finally came over. She was like, let's go get a scratch. And boy, did my dad feel guilty for whipping me. I mean, he was just like, I whipped a kid and he was being hyperactive because of the food that we're giving him, and then he goes to school like that and, whatever, live and learn. It's an old school mentality, there was, the gang.
Boomers, the boomers and the people before them, that like you and I had this conversation the other day. There's just like, get the fuck out of the front of the TV. Right. It made us who we are. It's all right.
Well, like when I was in first and second grade, like my mom started a snack project because there was a couple of kids that I went to school with that were having like, behavioral problems like I was by like second and third period. And they weren't eating breakfast in the morning. There was a kid named Ernest Lampkin. There was another kid that I'm still friends with named Eric Donaldson. And like, we were all just, by second period, third period, we were like starving. Like a lot of us just didn't eat breakfast or weren't hungry. And then so by the time we got to school, so my mom started this whole snack program where she would bring like goldfish, and there was like a period of third period where like we would all have like snacks that would never go over now. People are so weird about, people bringing outside food, but it was a godsend that my mom thought about doing that and it worked. And it was like kids' behaviors, even other kids' behaviors that were like kind of on the spectrum, but not as bad as we were, like completely did like a 180. And it was like peace. It was like peace in like, second and third grade because of old Nora,
Old Nora. I loved
like,
your mom. She was always super
Mom.
nice to me when I met her a few times. I met your dad.
Oh, yeah.
I know I met your dad once for sure, but I think I met your mom multiple times, at least 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah.
She was always super nice.
Of course. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right. So, everybody, the way to get a hold of Al Shire is going to be in the description below. I'm only cutting this short because it's Saturday night and I just want to talk to Al off recording so we can just bullshit and do what friends do. So we're going to be able to find all of the ways to donate to the Terlingua Musicians Guild in the description below. And y'all blow him up. Let's get this guy as many guitars, drums, and violins, right? Whatever. Ukuleles.
I've got a buddy, Gabe Kunzman, that lives out in Del Valley, and I've been, getting a couple of, personal drum things from him, but I want to start getting more drums, hand drums from him and taking them out there. And
okay.
Yeah. Anything people can do to help. If they don't help,
make this a thing, man.
I'm going to do it myself.
Let's make this happen, guys, and then let's all go out there and visit so we can all play these instruments and have a good old time, and maybe join his Guinness Book of World Records routine of getting 100 people
Nothing
in the
but
desert.
love in Brewster County.
What? This has been the 13, everybody. This has been Al Shire on the 13, and we will see you all again on the next one. Later!